Good morning, students. I am Prakash Tripathi, and today I am going to teach you the fourth poem of your book Flamingo, A Thing of Beauty, written by the great and famous British romantic poet John Keats. Though he was trained to be a surgeon, but he devoted himself for poetry. Unfortunately, he died at a very young age, just at the age of 25. Otherwise, the world could have been benefited more from his poems. He was a lover of beauty. In fact, he admired beauty and worshipped beauty. In these poems, he is trying to say that beautiful things are a great source of happiness. They enlighten our life and make our life happy. I will explain you line by line of the poem. Let's see. A thing of beauty is a joy forever. Its loveliness increases, it will never pass into nothingness. The poem opens with these beautiful lines. In fact, this line in English literature is quoted as a beautiful quotes. He says that a thing of beauty. Now, there are many beautiful things in the world. Even your mobile, your car, your friend, your mother, everything can be beautiful. But we have to see what poet wants to say. He tries to highlight the beauty, the mother nature, the beautiful things which our nature has. He is trying to indicate to those beautiful things. And he says that these are the permanent source of joy. In fact, these beautiful things are always giving us a pleasure and happiness, and its beauty never fades away. It passes into nothingness means its beauty does not fade away, but will keep a bower quiet for us. Bower is a pleasant, shady place where we get peace of mind, where we feel relaxed and relieved, and a sleep full of sweet dreams and health and quiet breathing. Now he is comparing the beautiful things to the bower. If you go to a bower, a shady place, how will you feel? You will be very excited. Your mind will be very peaceful and calm. In the same way, the beautiful things also gives a peaceful mind to us. Therefore, on every morrow means the next day or morning also you can say. Every morrow we are wreathing means we are weaving a flowery band to bind us to the earth. A flowery band to bind. Here I have written you the poetic devices. Band to bind. The word be is repeated, so the figure of speech is alliteration. Now he wants to say that the beautiful things bind us. They attach us to the world. We see many beautiful things, and though we don't have those things, we try to aspire, we try to achieve them, and therefore he says the beautiful things bind us to the earth. Spite of despondence. Spite means malice. Despondence means our disappointment, dejections of the inhuman dearth. The poet says that there is a dearth means lack, shortage. There are no noble natures. People of noble qualities are absent nowadays. Of noble nature, of the gloomy days. Gloomy days means sad days. Of all the unhealthy and over darkened ways. Now, what are the unhealthy ways? The wrong things which we do. Actually, the human being has made his life miserable by doing wrong things. So, our spirits are full of darkness. Made for our searching. Yes, we search, our eyes search for those beautiful things. And in spite of all, some shape of beauty moves away the pall. But the poet says there are lots of disappointments, lots of dejections, lot of bad things in this world. But some shape of beauty moves away the pall. Pall means cover. Here pall is also, I have written here the meaning also, a covering like a shroud, the cloth which we put on the shroud, on the dead body. So, if you see a beautiful thing, however you are miserable, however disappointed you are, the beautiful things removes your sadness, and your negativity turns into positivity. Some from our dark spirits, such the sun, the moon, trees, old, young, sprouting a shady boon. Now he mentions some of the beautiful things of nature, such as moon, trees, young and old. They are providing a shady boon. They are like a blessing. To whom? For a simple sheep. And such are daffodils. Daffodils are flowers, yellow flowers, beautiful flowers. With the green world they live in and clear rills that for themselves a cooling covert make. Now let us see what he is trying to say. These daffodils, wherever they bloom, they make the environment, they make the atmosphere extremely beautiful. And the clear rills here are the water, the streams, you can say, the crystal water of the streams, that for themselves a cooling covert make. Covert means shelter or a cover. From wherever these rivers or streams flow, they themselves cover a cooling shade in the hot season, against the hot season. During the hot seasons, they themselves make for a cooling shade. The mid forest brake, rich with a sprinkling of fair musk rose blooms. Sprinkling means scattering of fair musk rose blooms. And in the middle of the forest, these rose blooms, and these rose makes the forest also extremely beautiful. In other words, he is trying to mention all the beautiful things. He says the sun, the moon, the sheep, the daffodils, the clear streams, rose, and such too is the grandeur of the domes. And such too is the grandeur. Grandeur means the thing which is very grand, magnificent. Of the domes we have imagined for the mighty dead. A very important line. A question also can be asked. Why is grandeur associated with mighty deeds? Students, I would like to tell you that mighty deeds are our forefathers. Mighty deeds are our ancestors. And these ancestors had accomplished a great work in their time. They were very powerful. That is why, and they had done a great things. And by looking at their work, we are inspired. We are encouraged. So we have imagined for the mighty dead of the dooms. And the dooms here, the last day or the judgment day, we all of us expect a heaven, a better place for our forefathers, don't we? We think that after death our ancestors must be relaxing in heaven and they must be feeling very relaxed. All lovely tales that we have heard or read. The poet says that all the lovely tales, the stories we hear about our ancestors, our forefathers, even those tales are beautiful things. In other words, he also sees beauty in death also. An endless fountain of immortal ring. Endless, which doesn't have any end. Of immortal ring. Now what is this immortal ring? All the beautiful things that the nature, that the heaven is providing for us, to the human beings. Pouring unto us from the heavens bring. They are pouring, matlab, the nature is continuously trying to give us, the nature has continuously endowed us, bestowed on us the beautiful things. It may be the flowers, the mountains, the sun, the moon, everything of the beautiful nature we are benefited. So it is up to us how we enjoy. In other words, the poet is making an appeal that we should try to see the beauty which lies, which is scattered around our life, which is scattered in our surroundings. But sometimes we fail to admire them. Sometimes we don't recognize the beauty. We just pass away. We just ignore the beautiful things. just because we are so much involved in our miseries, our troubles, our disappointments, our dejections. But the poet still hopes that the beautiful things can be a source, can relieve us, can make our mind peace and calm, and that is why we should not only admire beauty, we should worship beauty also. The poetic devices which are in the poem, bower quiet, this is the metaphor, refers to the quite shady part in the garden. The poet, in the beginning of the poem, he says that the beautiful things are like bower. When we go to bower, we are relaxed, we have good sleep, we have good health and sound breathing. In the same way, the bower also does the same thing. Pall has been referred to the covering like a shroud. This is also metaphor. Alliteration, noble nature. When the poet says there is a dearth of noble, dearth means shortage, lack, noble nature, good qualities. So N is repeated here. The figure of speech is alliteration. Cooling covered, the clear rills, streams provide a cooling covered shelter. So that is also repetition. Band to bind, again I told you this is repetition because the sound B has been repeated. Another figure of speech is oxymoron, mighty dead. When two opposite ideas are expressed in the same line, then the figure of speech is mighty dead. Our ancestors, our forefathers, if they are dead, how are they mighty? So there is a contrast between these two words. So that is why mighty dead is a figure of speech that is known as oxymoron. So dear students, I have explained you the theme, the message, all the poetic devices, all the difficult words, meanings, and I hope you enjoyed this lecture. Thank you for watching it.